You have to believe in yourself, even when people try to bring you down and think you're crazy. I am here today to challenge you to think bigger.
He may be small
I'm
in
only
size,
7
but
years
Pharaoh is part of a program that's generating big ideas and interest in the San Diego suburb of El Cajon. It's called TEDx Kids, and Cajon Valley Union is one of only a handful of school districts across the nation to have this independently organized TEDx youth event available for students in kindergarten through middle school.
Our first one was in 2015, and we had it in an auditorium at one of our middle schools. A couple hundred people came, and it was just strictly talks, and we've had it every year since then.
Today, former middle school teacher Jennifer Petraglia is the program organizer, and all 27 schools in the district have a TEDx Kids Club that takes students through the process of preparing their TED Talk, starting with discovering what they're passionate about. For some, it's a hobby or a love of science or technology. For others, it's more personal.
When my dad was 7 years old, 2 years younger than I am now, his village was attacked by the Sudanese government. The girls were kidnapped. The boys were forced to become part of the military and to come back and kill their own people.
Appia was a third grader when she performed her talk called The Lucky Ones, based on her dad's story of escaping war as a child. She talks about the good fortune kids in America have when it comes to learning.
I wanted to get his story out so people could know what he did as a little kid and they could reflect back on their lives and know that they are really lucky.
Many of these young people are first-generation Americans. Parents as well as teachers say the students often gain confidence from simply having their ideas heard.
It's not only allowing the kids to explain who they are and what they're interested in, but it's allowing teachers and families and the community to understand students a little bit better.
Teaching or learning is just not about being in the school, but about hearing stories what other people went through.
The TEDx Kids program includes a 13-lesson curriculum covering everything from coming up with a main idea to researching, writing, and of course, a lot of practice.
We have crayons, pencils, paper, everything we need.
Students can apply to be selected as a speaker at the end of the session, giving their talk on stage TEDx style.
Raise your hand if recess is or was one of your favorite parts of the day. It's one of mine too.
Participants in the 2020 TEDx Kids Club faced an unexpected challenge when their event was canceled due to the pandemic after months of hard work and planning. But they adapted, persevered, and kept practicing.
Their voices still needed to be heard, and some of these talks were very appropriate at the time. And so we decided, let's try it. Let's try a virtual event.
So TEDx Kids El Cajon held their 2020 talk online, and it ended up drawing the biggest audience of all. More than 12,000 views from around the world, from people who say they needed to feel inspired.
My goal is to be a scientist so I can help create and invent things that will change the world.
Just give them an outlet to get everything out and to see that, you know, once you have your thoughts, you could basically do anything you want to do and you could accomplish this. Like, who would have thought that my 7-year-old would be doing a TED Talk?
The growth that kids have within this program is incredible. Kids come in thinking this is not the club for them. They're shy, maybe they don't know how to write a talk, and by the end of it, it's incredible to see what they can do.
Kids with more recess have better test scores than ones that don't have as much. Recess also gives kids time to practice their social skills.
After the success of the 2020 virtual TED Talk, Cajon Valley Union School District decided to continue the program entirely online, with about half of their schools still able to take part.
Biggest challenge this year is probably the obvious, which is that we cannot see our kids in person. Luckily, we have a great foundation in place technology-wise, so we just jumped right in and tried it on Zoom.
I really hope these kids are empowered, that they are no longer feel like they don't have a voice, that their voice matters, that they're able to speak up for themselves, that they're able to share their ideas, and just be confident about who they are.
I'm not sure if I will create the inventions I spoke about in my talk, but I am confident that I'll spend my life determined to do the impossible, tackle the untackable, and dream the undreamable.